Welcome to sizzlehearts.com, where you can find love, connect with like-minded professionals, and unlock your truest purpose. Today's video is brought to you by To advertise your business to our growing community of international professionals, visit sizzlehearts.com and see our plans. We welcome you now to today's video.
Namaste from India, Maria, and I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show, and I hope that the audience gets some value. In our culture, we are raised to believe that our husbands will be our Prince Charmings.
Right.
That is how we are raised. So at 20, I said yes and got married to the first proposal that came for me.
Okay.
And on my wedding day, I was raped by my husband.
Oh my God.
Most people do not take the time to say yes. And that's when they fall in that soup. Because the heart is jumping and you don't know what to do and you just say yes. And then you realize you're in a mess.
Right.
Now living, like that, like a dead soul in a moving body for more than 2 decades, Maria.
Yes.
On the 20th of May 2015, when my mother-in-law got up to beat me, and after so many, bouts of domestic violence and marital rape, I don't know what happened to me that day, that an inner still voice inside of me told me that enough is enough. And from that day on, I made it my business to change my life and to help others too. And then while I was developing my own relationship with myself, to not take anything anymore that hurts my self-respect and dignity and pride, helped me then evolve into becoming the coach that I am today. And with the help of mentors like Les Brown, he trained me. And then while I was life coaching MDs, top CEOs, and Fortune 500 companies, I was going there and training them and coaching the leadership, teams out there. I realized that even though they were good at work, their mind, their heart, their trap was actually in their relationships. And so I used to land up coaching them for their relationships, whether it was business or personal.
Right.
And then I entered this niche of coaching couples who were getting ready to marry. So I began to prepare them for marriage, and I used to, continue to coach them in their newlywed stage. And that's how the niche of relationship coaching happened, right from feeling privileged to read and write, then feeling ridiculed and abused, and then feeling the victory, I would say, of self-realization, of self-approval, and of self-determination to go out there and help people develop the same. I think the biggest challenge that people are facing today is the trust. They cannot trust themselves, and so they cannot trust anyone else. That trust factor is lost in today's individuals and couples. Even though they are together, they know in their heart of hearts, or they want to believe in their heart of hearts that this is temporary and this might just fade away. So that, wholesome submission is missing. When you are in for love, then you are in fully submitting with no inhibitions whatsoever. But couples refrain from being themselves and trusting to submit completely. That's the biggest challenge I feel that couples and individuals are facing today when they come to me. And, that is why Sizzle Hearts, companies, initiatives like yours that are out there helping couples to find the right match so that you can trust them.
So, but what do you think creates this lack of trust? in this modern age with people?
Most
What creates this lack of trust?
most people are unable to overcome their past experiences. And those past experiences, whether with themselves or with, overheard stories, it could be their friends filling their ears, it could be their parents that they have been emulating for all this while, it could be anybody, it could be a movie, it could be a book, it could be a citation, it could be a fantasy. But something in their heart tells them that this is not going to work, and they do not want to give it a try, like, fully in. Having a conversation, making them feel comfortable to share.
Right.
People do not want to share because they fear being judged. They do not want to share openly. They fear they fear rejection. They fear being judged. They fear being misunderstood. So the first thing that I would do is first make them comfortable in their skin to open up and talk freely. And then we get into the coaching aspect. It doesn't happen like that you come in front of me and I just coach you. But first we create that bond. And then I have developed a system called the faith system that I introduced them to. Because if you ask me what took me so long, right from my wedding day to more than 20 years, it was actually my faith, Maria.
Right.
That I had been using all this while to help my husband, my children, my family. But I never had the courage to use it on myself. And so when I introduced them to the faith system, which I have acronymed for, F for focus.
Right.
Now, when you focus on the friendship in the relationship, or when you focus on yourself and why you want to, feel better than how you're feeling. Like I was hit, I was injured, I was in pain, but I wanted to feel better. So I began to feel privileged. But that understanding is not there. Like how Earl Nightingale has said, you become what you think about.
True.
Right. So then the next acronym is A for accountability. Now, holding yourself accountable to be affectionate in the relationship. Are you having that patience to listen and to convey in a, civilized, realistic manner? I is for invest. Now, I teach 8 types of intimacy. Most couples or individuals who come to me, they crave intimacy, especially girls, and even boys, you'll be surprised. Even the men, they crave intimacy. So now I introduce them to spiritual intimacy,
right,
experiential intimacy, intellectual intimacy. There are so many types of intimacy that I introduce them to. And then T is for thoughts, how to change negative thoughts into positive ones. And then H, being honest to your core and remaining hungry for the relationship, for that longingness of your partner. And that would then lead you to having that faith in your relationship by having faith in yourself. My basic advice would be that you are not alone. If you as a girl or as a woman is feeling like this, even the man out there is feeling the same. He craves to meet you in person too, but then everything has come online. Not only relationships, but everything is happening online today. So pertaining to the circumstances, are you happy being single is my question to you. And if you're not happy being single, then just as you are feeling, even the partner out there is feeling the same. Whoever you choose. So one step at a time, you take one and the other person definitely will take few more. And then you take few more and they take more. And that's how the story goes. That's how life happens. That's how you both evolve. But if you are, sort of there holding back, then the other person is also going to hold back. And like attracts like, Maria. Ask yourself the question, are you single? And then are you willing to take the risk? Or are you willing to just sit there and, sulk? That question is for you to answer. Whoever is listening in the audience today. that reminds you of the story that Mr. Brown always tells us, that, there was this dog that was whining on the seat, and the passerby asked the owner of the dog, "Why is your dog crying? Why is he whining?" And the owner said that he's sitting on a nail. That's why he's whining. And so he said, "Why doesn't he just move from the nail? Why don't you lift him? Or why doesn't he move?" He said, "No, he wants to sit there. We come here every day." And the dog always places himself on the nail and whines, because it's not hurting him as much that he would lift himself. It's hurting him just there. So that is why, people are stuck in their situations and they do not want to take action. Same thing for even for a job, for my situation that I was there for that many years. Yes, for me, my biggest responsibility was my children. And when both my children left, there was nothing, there in the nest for me to feed my babies with. So I left too. I flew too. My children flew and the nest was empty. I didn't find any other reason to stay back for, the father of the children. But in the scenarios where people are not willing to take action, they are happy, or they are just in that much pain that they can bear. So they have been bearing the pain and they are still there in that pain. But when that pain really hits them, like it hit me that day, when my mother-in-law got up to beat me. So it just takes one defining moment to change your life. That one moment that you all need to change your life. And this one life is all that you have, Maria. So why not take action now? If you feel it, if you feel that, yes, you really need to bring about a change, then take action now and say yes to the one that you love. I couldn't do this alone. I had I had the privilege and the honor of being mentored by the world's greatest people. I have been surrounded and I have been blessed with such support from all around the world, when people have my back from all corners. And that's very important, because loneliness is catching up on people, and that's why Japan has just now introduced a ministry of loneliness.
Correct.
So people feel that no, they don't want to trust in anyone, and they'll end up feeling lonely. So you need to have these OQPs around you, what Mr. Brown calls them, only quality people, who pour into you, who have your back unconditionally and believe in you for who you are. And that's where we coaches come in. So get yourself a coach, get yourself a mentor, talk to someone, express yourself. How do you feel? Share openly. Nowadays, people are not even trusting their friends to, because they feel so fearful of being judged and of being rejected. And that's why I encourage each and every one of you, whoever's listening out there, I don't know who you are, but if you are with me hearing this and hearing Maria from Sizzle Hearts today, all I'm telling you is that take that initiative to have the right people around you. Go out there and ask for help. Ask for help.
Advertise your business to our growing community of international professionals, go to sizzlehearts.com and check out our plans.